Aim, fire.
Yeah, so we gotta get this. We gotta get this going. So
Right. Well, I think the
let
first
me
thing that I'm going to say to you guys is, do you guys believe the hype? Like, do you think the game's going to live up to all the hype that's being created for it?
I believe it. I mean, hey, they did some amazing work with Halo, so it wouldn't be that like that stretched for them to be able to create a game this good.
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely got some. Definitely got the right team behind the game for it. So, okay.
um as far as I'm concerned, I've seen what Bungie can do with Halo, and if they can do what they did with Halo and do it with Destiny, and actually looks like they're making it a lot more of an interactive um, interactive experience than what Halo was, then I think it's going to go far. And I think when the media, you know, got their hands on the game during the info explosion, um, the start of April, I believe. Everyone was saying, "Oh yeah, there's not much here. This game's boring and everything." They only played one strike, but now since a lot of people got to play the alpha, their hype is raised because they think this game's amazing, and I think we're gonna think it's amazing too once we actually get our hands on it. Once we actually get our hands on it, for Xbox One. But I've been following the game ever since February of last year when it was announced, and my hype has never fell. It's always risen, and now that we're so much closer to launch, and in 2 weeks the beta, then my hype is up even more.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is about with this game that like not all other games do is that they've released a lot of game footage like early enough so that people don't believe the game's something different. If you know what I mean. Like, I
Exactly.
think one thing about what they did with Watch Dogs, because that had so much hype behind the game, but it came out and it just wasn't what people thought it was going to be because there wasn't much footage of the actual game. You know what I mean? But like
Exactly,
they've
and
went a different route with Destiny. So
yeah, there's a few more games that are like that where the hype is just goes through the
Titanfall.
roof. Look, yes,
Ti-
thank you. Look at Titanfall. Titanfall's hype was through the roof. I played it for, you know, what,
Hours.
not even a week, and I'm already like, same thing, same thing, same thing, same thing,
Yeah.
and
yeah, I mean to be honest, I think I played the
it
maximum
just
20 hours
doesn't
of
hold
that
it.
game.
Yeah.
I was so excited for this game. Like, I almost bought the collector's edition. I almost dropped $250 on that. And then I'm like, you know what? Not worth it. And then it came out, and thank God I didn't buy the collector's edition.
Yeah.
Okay. What about what are you guys' take on factions? We
Well,
saw very little of factions in the alpha, but
to be
You're pretty
not
honest,
much the
much.
I
free
was sort of
agent.
hoping you guys could explain the factions to me because that was one thing about Destiny that I've not really picked too much up off. I know there's too much.
I honestly don't think anyone's really like known too much. Like, I mean, basically, you are employed by the factions. The factions, they, you know, you basically don't do the standard, okay, I'm gonna go pick a faction, and then, once I do everything I need to do for that faction, I'm gonna go pick another one. Um, Basically, you just do whatever faction you want, and you can, you can have alliances and everything with all 5 of them. Um, so it's pretty much free form with factions because you know, you can earn experience from one faction and you can earn experience from another, and as a whole, you can earn experience from all of them. Um, and I think what a lot of people were worried about was that because it was stated, I think, either last year or earlier this year that factions are obviously they're going to be a part of multiplayer, but we haven't seen that yet in what way. We know that they're, going to be fighting against each other, but what does that actually mean? Like, we haven't seen that, um, as well as,
Yeah, well, I mean, see, when it comes to like things like raids and strikes and sort of cooperative multiplayer, like say you're in a different faction from me, am I still able to play with you? And
mhm,
how does that
yes,
work out?
yes.
Yeah, definitely. Factions just give you missions to get different types of gear and get like the markings on your gear. Like if you were to complete a certain faction, they'd give you a weapon that has the faction's mark on
You
it.
are not locked into one faction, and that's what I was actually going to bring up, is that a lot of people were worried that they would have to, you know, their whole group or clan or whatever would have to just choose one faction because they thought that that was the only way that they would be playing together, because they thought that factions would be, you know, locked basically to where you have to, do the whole thing and then you can switch to another one or something. But that's not the case, and I am pretty happy that that's not the case, because if it was, then I
Yeah.
don't think the game would live up to what it should as far as the factions are concerned.
Right, we've got a question from Oil Friend. I'm just gonna pronounce it like Oil Friend. Um, he's asking what classes we're gonna run. So, Porky, I'll let you start off.
Classes,
What class you're gonna run?
I'm gonna be a Titan, and I'm since we're doing classes, we might as well,
The races, yeah.
do the races. Yeah, thank you. I forgot about that word for a second. Probably an EXO, probably an EXO Titan, which actually, as far as on the Bungie.net forums, that seems, to be the popular pick as far as Titans are concerned. Everyone's really going with EXO. No one's really touching Awoken or Human. So,
Yeah. I mean, personally, I think I'm going to go Warlock Exo or Warlock Human. It depends how popular Exo is. Because if Exo's overly popular, I'm just going to go with Human. Because I'd like to, I'm going to want my guy to be different. I don't want my character to be similar to everybody else's. You know what I mean? I want to stand out in the world of Destiny. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to be like the same as everyone else.
yeah,
I'm probably gonna run the Awoken Warlock just because I saw some of the gameplay footage and she looks pretty cool in the tower.
yeah. Is it
You like that
the
Nova Bomb,
Awoken is
don't
like the
you?
sort of robot-like one, eh?
I kind of want to try the Radiance.
The
Uh,
Awoken are
The sort of robot-like
like
race.
basically
they're like a
no,
board, the
those
Traveler's
are
Light.
those are the Exo. The Exo are the robot war machines, and the Awoken are more I guess mysterious, you can say. I don't know how to really describe them, but
The sort of blue
they're
aliens.
nothing like.
Blue aliens.
Yes, they are basically. That's pretty much the best way. They're like an alien version of a Smurf, basically. But yeah, so um, who else is gonna say what
Grim.
Hey
class?
Grim,
I'll probably say
what's your
that I'll
class?
pick EXO as well because it's just they look so cool. for no reason.
What
Yeah,
race do you
EXO,
enjoy?
EXO Hunter.
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 Yeah,
Oh,
Hunter.
You gotta
Hunter,
get with that
nice.
golden gun, huh?
Yeah, Golden Gun,
The
man. I've
one
been watching
shot.
gameplay. One shot kill. That's me right there, man.
Oh yeah.
Another thing I was going to ask is,
How about
do you guys think there's going to be private lobbies? And if so, do you think there'll be theater mode?
hmm,
I mean, personally,
now they
I
have.
think there'll be private
Go ahead.
lobbies, but like I'm not so sure on theater mode. But if there was theater mode, that would create so many opportunities for things like machinimas and all the great stuff that came from Halo. You know what I mean?
Theater mode. I'm pretty sure that there's gonna be
Exactly.
theater mode because like Destiny's such a good-looking game. Like if you look around the skyboxes and everything, it's such a brilliantly made game. I'm pretty sure that they would put a theater mode in it just to capture some of the moments that you have in the game,
Yeah, it'd be great if there was.
especially in
If there was a
PvP.
theater mode, I'd definitely be doing some sort of machinima from that. I mean, that would just that would really. Um, what do you guys think? Do you think there will be, or
Um, I think that I think that Deej he stated a while back. It was either him or Irk. They stated a while back that they're not taking away, the custom playlists or custom lobbies or anything like that, which kind of tells me that you know,
Theater mode might
they're
stay.
gonna try to keep them intact, but
yeah? So I'm just typing the chat now. Or any questions?
if anyone else has any questions in the chat that they want to ask us, anything about possibly what we think about what might be in the beta or just any questions in general about the game, just ask away in the chat and we will do our very best to answer.
Yeah, I've just typed the same thing in the chat. What do you guys think that should be in the game that hasn't really been announced yet? Is there anything you think should be in the game?
Swords.
Huh.
Swords.
Zombies.
Um, anything that hasn't been announced. That's a real tough one because pretty much, a way to communicate with everybody other than just the Xbox communication or the PlayStation communication. Like we need an actual way to communicate, like how if anyone has played an MMO, and I know that Destiny's not an MMO, it's a shared world first-person shooter, but let's be honest, they have um, elements of MMOs in them. In those games, you had a chat box to where anybody within that area could type something, and then you would see it because it would pop up on your HUD, and then you would help them out or answer their question or something. I think something like that would be almost essential for a game like this, because with how heavy they are pushing the social aspect, I think that this is something that should definitely be in the game for sure.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
But
Oil friend in the chat has just mentioned about the sort of 3 beta codes with each, or sort of be 3 beta keys with each pre-order, and I was just actually asking
yes.
Porky about that just before the stream, because I wasn't sure about it either. But I'll let Porky talk about that. Not that there's much to say, to be honest.
So basically, you go to Bungie.net, obviously, and for anybody who does not know this, you are able to choose which console you want to play the beta on.
Uh,
But basically, you go to your profile, you go to redeem codes, then you can from there choose your console, choose your region, and I think for PlayStation they have to actually choose their region, and for Xbox it's just a global region, so it's
Global.
all over global, yeah. And but it will say um that you're gonna receive 3 beta keys. Now, say someone does not have say someone did not pre-order the game, but they want to play the beta. Um, they have to be on the same console that that you chose to play the beta on, obviously. But you can actually give them that code, and then they can download the beta and play the game with you, regardless if they pre-ordered or not. So you'll get one for yourself, and you'll get two for whatever, whoever you want. It can be a friend, classmate, whatever. So that's that's how that works pretty much.
Yeah, and Slender Boys just mentioned about the beta time frame for the Xbox, how it's really short compared to the PlayStation, which I totally agree with. It really should be a lot longer,
Yeah,
personally.
same.
I mean, especially for
It's
me,
not
Honestly, to
even half
because
as
me,
I'm
long.
actually only going to get 2 days
go
off
ahead.
the beta. As
Hmm.
I mean, we're meant to go like 5, 6 days, but I'm only going to be available for maybe 2 or 3 of them because I'm away with family.
Honestly,
So
um, okay, so PlayStation gets it from the 17th to the 20th, I want to say, and
27.
then, well, yeah, but
Oh
I'm
yeah, you're
just,
talking about the
I'm
wrong
just
time.
going in order, kind of. So PlayStation gets it from the 17th to the 20th. That's 5 days. Um, no, that's actually 4 days. Never mind. Um,
Yeah, that's
and
4.
then the beta goes down for maintenance, I'm guessing, to make sure that the servers are good so that, they can run all 4 consoles. And then the servers for all 4 platforms open up on the 23rd at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is 12 p.m. Central Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Um, Now, as far as the time goes, um, Xbox only gets it from the 23rd to the 27th, the end of the 27th. To me, I mean, that's 5 days, yes, but you have to understand, this is only the beta. It's not the launch of the game.
yeah, I
Um,
mean, we don't even have to be giving it. This is essentially we're getting to play the game for free. You know what I mean? So I mean,
exactly, and
so it doesn't annoy me
people
too
are,
much, but it's still there.
yeah,
Just the
yeah,
fact that
exactly, and
PlayStation get it a lot longer. You know what I mean?
mhm. And also another thing is that people are flipping out on the forums. Oh, Bungie, we hate Bungie because they
Bungie
aren't
doesn't
giving
love us
PlayStation a
anymore.
lot. I mean, it's just like they don't have to give us a beta. They don't have to give anybody a beta. What they
Yeah,
have to give though is a great game at launch. And
yeah,
that's honestly what you should do. That's honestly what you should be focused on is that great game at launch. You don't need to be focused on the beta. Yes, you need to be focused on the beta to a certain extent, but you're only going to have it for a short period of time, and then a month later, the game releases.
hmm,
And uh, as far as how close the beta is to the actual launch, I feel like that's a little too close because that doesn't give them as much time. Because here's the thing, I'm sure for production of all of the discs and all that stuff is going to take probably a week or so, and I think it probably would have to get approved by Microsoft and Sony, which obviously it will, but that takes some time. So they won't have much time to really, to basically fix anything or tweak anything, and they must be feeling pretty confident about their beta build since they're releasing it so close to launch.
Yeah, there's only a month separating the actual launch of the game, and the beta releasing.
Yeah. I was sorry. I was taking another
Yeah.
question from the chat just now. Um, Oil Fiend. Sorry, I was pronouncing the person's name wrong. It's not friend. It's Oil Fiend. Or maybe I'll probably pronounce it wrong again. They're asking if we think they'll extend the beta for another couple of days.
No.
Really? I mean,
Extend the what a couple days?
yeah. I mean, I don't think
Extend
they
the
will,
beta.
but I mean, I hope they do, but probably
Oh,
not. I mean, it's
it would
possible
be cool, but doubtably.
because I mean, I'm pretty sure they
I
extended
mean,
the alpha a couple of days, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
So I mean, it's
they
possible,
did.
but
I mean,
unlikely.
they they might if they finish the server the maintenance on the servers, they could launch it early, but I don't think that they would extend the period of
Yeah.
extend the
yeah, I
beta
mean,
any longer.
it's definitely. I mean, with how close the beta is to launch, I don't see them extending it. Even if they do, maybe like a day, if that. Like maybe I don't know. I just don't see them extending it at all. Um, Past what they are saying, which is the beta will end on the 27th. And also, if you guys have not known this in the chat, um, if you play on the 26th,
Actually, Slender
anytime
Boys just mentioned
after,
that in the chat about getting a bonus on the 26th.
yes, I'm not sure if it's playing after 2 p.m. Pacific, which I'm guessing that is. That would be 5 p.m. my time. You get a special emblem that you can also, that you will have for the launch of the game that only people that played, during that time will. And also another thing is if you pre-order the game, you get access to the Vanguard Armory, and you also get Vanguard rep for a boost, and you get a nice little Vanguard emblem. So that's already been confirmed. It's on Push.net. I know you can get it from ordering the collector's editions, the Ghost edition, the limited edition, and that's another thing that I do want to get into is
Slender Boy's asking what edition of the game we're each getting. And personally, I'm just getting the normal edition right now, but I plan on getting the 2 expansion packs. So, I mean, not everybody made any money, so can't afford everything, but that's what I'm going for.
I'm getting Ghost. I saved
um
up so long to get this.
okay, sorry, I got cut off there by someone came in. But um as far as the collector's editions go, I thought about getting one, but then I was like, if I can get the expansion pass separate, then I don't feel like I need to buy any of the collector's editions. And my dreams came true. The next day on GameStop, I saw listings for the digital download of the expansion pass, which basically is you pre-order. And by the way, the placeholder dates on this, or the placeholder date is 12/31/14. So this more than likely won't even come out this year. Um, it more than likely will come out next year sometime. Um, Basically, for the digital download, pre-order is you pre-order, and everything's everything's basically digital. You don't have to go to the store, nothing. The day that it's released, you'll receive a code, and you redeem that code, and then boom, there's your pass, and that's pretty much how it works. So
Yeah, and there's another thing I would like to talk about is because I've seen on the forums there's a lot of people asking why there isn't any like guns on the Sparrows Because if you don't know, the Sparrows are like everybody's sort of personal vehicle. But I watched an interview with Deej, and he was saying that if there was guns on the Sparrow, would you ever actually want to get off your Sparrow? Of how good the Sparrow feels just driving around in it. If you had guns on it, would you ever actually want to get off it? Like, which is true, which is a good point.
Angry Joe.
Yeah, Angry Joe's interview with Deej. Like,
Yes,
you
that
probably
was
never actually want
that
to
was
get
the
off
Angry Joe interview.
your Sparrow if you actually had a gun.
Especially in PvP. Especially in PvP, that'd be way too OP. Because someone could just instantly call that and then just tear right through people.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm pretty sure there's the pike in the PvP though, which is pretty similar.
Now here's another thing. Okay, all we've seen is the Sparrow as a vehicle. Okay, and during their last drawing board, they showed the Shrike, which is a certain class of Sparrow, but it pretty much is the Sparrow, just with a different name. But it's obviously not the Sparrow because it's its own thing. It's just a separate class. Do you guys want, I guess, other vehicles other than just the Sparrow? Because I kind of do, because I feel like that not only does there have to be a variety in the guns and the gear and all that stuff, but there also has to be a variety in the vehicles too.
Do you mean different vehicles, or do you mean sort of different versions of the Sparrow, like different customization options for the Sparrow? Or do you mean just completely different vehicle altogether?
Completely different vehicles. Like, it's nice to have the Sparrow, but if you're getting the same thing, like if you're earning the same vehicle and you're just unlocking, a new skin for it or something, there's not really, nothing worth, there. I mean, people, I think, get more excited about unlocking a new vehicle rather than a new skin for a certain vehicle.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to go back to WoW for a second, because WoW is kind of something that you can use to compare different things. They had a lot of mounts. Now I know, Destiny doesn't have mounts, they have vehicles, but I think that there should be a good amount of different vehicles, not just a Sparrow, not just a certain class of Sparrow that you can earn in-game.
So what type of vehicle would you like to see in Destiny?
Give me like okay.
Like a sort of quad bike type thing, or motorbike, or like sort of hovering type thing, but sort of similar to like sort of futuristic sort of quad bike type.
Yeah, or even what they can do is put in futuristic animals. Like, give me a futuristic robot tiger or something like that. Just to keep it in the sci-fi
Oh right, yeah.
era.
Ride around on a tiger.
But yeah, I mean, just to keep it in that area. I mean, I just feel like that for this game to really, really strive, people need to feel like they can do a lot, and they need to feel like that there's a lot of variety in their choices. And I feel like that some of that variety needs to be within the vehicles as well.
Yeah. Just letting you know, guys. Dark Saints just joined the chat as well. Just joined the stream. Just saying.
Okay. Hey, Dark, what's up? What's up?
I've got a question for you guys.
Hey.
Are you guys going to be mainly into the PvP or the PvE? As in player versus enemies, or player versus player?
Huh.
Personally, I think.
Wait, what do you say?
Do you think you're going to be into player versus enemies or player versus player? Like, do you think you're going to be more involved in the sort of story side of the game, like sort of open world, or the PvP? Personally, I think I'm going to be more involved in the sort of open world. I think I'm going to enjoy the sort of open world side of the game a lot more. But I think I will be heavily involved in the PvP. Like, I'm just a sort of PvP type of guy, but I'm gonna, I'm really gonna get into the open world side of the game as well.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Spartan. I'll probably be in the PvE all day, doing raids in the campaign.
Here's the thing for me. I definitely want to do PvP. Don't get me wrong. I love PvP. I love just going up to somebody and shooting them in the face and saying I killed you. But there is also something satisfying about actually playing the game and getting the best gear and going and doing the hard strikes and going and doing the hard raids and not only going and completing them, but also having fun while doing it. Because you can't always have fun in PvP because there is always, now they're doing it different to where you can't even have, you know, voice chat within, you know, with your team except for anyone on your fire team. Um, but which kind of, settles the whole, PvP thing. But, you know, there's always, that one person, which I kind of applaud Bungie for switching up the voice chat and everything so that we can only talk to our fire team. But getting back to the PvE aspect, you're always going to have fun in PvE. I mean, you get six of your best friends, clanmates, whatever. You go in there, you feel like you're gonna, do it. You may wipe a few times, you may, fail, you may come back tomorrow or something, but you're gonna get it done. And I mean, that sense of having something so hard like the Vault of Glass and being able to actually complete it one day is very satisfying and very rewarding to me to know that, we could probably beat it on hard difficulty even, I'm not saying we will. I'm saying like, because they literally made that sound like that's going to be almost impossible.
The hardest thing
Because,
ever.
yes,
Yeah, I
because
think I agree on that as well.
that, I think it was TTL that went in there and tried to do it, and it took them
Yeah,
16 hours, and they didn't even clear it at
yeah,
all.
16 hours they came out and it still couldn't clear it. Was that
I wonder
So,
if
was
they
that the
even
Vault of
cracked the
Glass? I think it was
intro.
called Vault of Glass.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Vault of
the
Glass,
Vault
yeah.
of Glass, which is honestly, to me, it sounds like it's going to be the end game raid. It's going to be, um, I mean, that's going to be it. So,
I wonder if they even cracked the intro, because I mean, they said that raids it'll take you just as long to crack the intro as it will to beat a strike. So
Yeah,
that
yeah, I
right
mean,
there
it's
just
gonna be
it's
tough.
it's it's going to be tough, but um, it's going to be satisfying once somebody
I just want
completes
to know
it,
what's on the
if
other side of
anybody
that
completes it.
wall. I mean, I just want to see. I want to know what the end loot is. You know what I mean? There must be some kind of massive reward for it.
yeah. They said Destiny's ultimate prize is at the end of the Vault of Glass. So I
Yeah,
just want to know what that is.
and that could be anything from exotic weapons to really, really good legendary gear. Um, Now, what do you guys think the reef is? Because that has actually been
The what? Sorry.
um, the reef. Um, if you look back at the experience video, there's a part of there where they show the director, and you see all of the maps. You see Venus and everything. You see the Crucible and stuff. But then, I believe, in between Venus and Mars, there's a place called Reef. So I'm kind of wondering what that is. Um, it's probably just some area, and I'm pretty sure we can't say too much on it just because we don't know anything at all about it. But that's just something interesting that I kind of picked up on.
To be honest, to be honest, I haven't really noticed that myself, so I can't really say much on that.
Yeah, neither did I.
If I
So,
had to make a guess, I would say it's probably where the factions hang out at, because if you looked at one of the trailers, it showed you inside of the reef talking to okay, two Awoken who were with two fallen guards or something knights. It was
Hmm.
them, and they were talking to you. I think it was part of the campaign, but you were inside the reef. If you notice the background, you were actually inside of it. So it might
Hmm.
be something that ties into the campaign or the factions.
Also, another piece of thing that of some pretty speculative information is that you know how you have the Crucible. Um, well, right next to the Crucible, there's something that looks pretty similar to that, but it's called Vanguard. I wonder
Yeah, I know what
what
you're
that
talking
is.
about. I have
Now
no idea.
here's my theory. Okay. Um, they did say that once you get higher level gear and past level 20, you'll be able to do higher levels of PvP. So maybe from level 20 and lower is Crucible, and 21 and up is Vanguard, because Vanguard is would be considered the higher level PvP. That's my guess. Um,
It could also be
so
like where communities and clans go to fight. Like they have the Crucible for your fire team. Maybe the Vanguard might be for your whole entire clan, like a clan war.
mhm.
That's one other possibility.
Dark Saint in the chat is saying that he wants it, the end um, sort of look to be a giant spaceship that everybody can see. Some badass big spaceship.
Giant spaceship.
Yeah.
You, s- that's that's the plot from Halo 1.
In fact, talking about Halo, I mean, does anybody else think that the Fallen just resemble the Flood from Halo, like massively?
Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
I think
Like the
that's
first thing
kind
I
of why
thought
they
of when
put
I
them
seen the
in
Fallen
there.
was the Flood. That was the first thing I thought, like got into my head, just the Flood straight away when I seen that.
I was like, I thought we passed this already.
Hmm.
Hmm. Um. Now, also another thing that I do want to bring up, which will affect us, which you can do this in the beta, is you can go on Bungie.net and you can make your group into a clan. You can literally take your group and form it over into a clan. Um, Now I want to know what you guys think would be the best clan system for the game would be. We've already heard a little bit. Basically, if you have over the member cap, you can turn your group into an alliance and have, you know, a bunch of different clans under one name,
Banner.
one banner, but everyone's associated. So say, I mean, obviously, our clan is all that will all that will remain. We can have four clans, PS4, PS3, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and they can all have similar similar, clan names, and they're going to be their own clans, but we are all going to be affiliated because we are all under and in the alliance, all that will remain. So, what are your guys' takes on that? And also, Deej, I don't know if you watched Guardian Radio the other night. Okay.
I seen the
Deej
first half
did
hour of it.
say, yes, yes, yes. Deej did say that there that once you actually create your clan on Bungie.net, that um when you create it, it's gonna open up services that support your interactions in game, which I'm kind of curious as to what you guys think that might be.
Sorry, I was reading the
Because
chat there
I
and
hear
I heard
that,
what you said.
I said it was said on Guardian Radio by Deej last night, or not last night, I think Monday night, excuse me. Um, he said that when you create a clan on Bungie.net, that will open up a bunch of services that will support your interactions in game. And I want to kind of get your guys' thoughts on that because what that says to me is maybe hopefully clan chat in game, maybe hopefully.
Yeah, I mean,
I hope.
that says to me almost like a sort of quick chat menu or a quick menu sort of thing. Like a quicker way to communicate with your sort of clan members within the game. If they're not in the same sort of area as
Yes.
your fire team, there's a sort of
Hmm.
quick menu within the game they could sort of hit on, and it would tell you what sort of clan
Yes,
members are
definitely.
on playing the game right now. If you know what I mean?
Yes, and that's what I think that this game definitely needs, is it definitely needs an in-game clan system. Yes, having, your clan on Bungie.net and stuff is good, but um I think that they might push it a little bit to having it in-game as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, switching topics back towards the beta here. Do you guys think that there's going to be many bugs in the beta, or if it's going to be sort of all be fixed up before the beta even happened, so like due to the alpha and things?
Um, I don't know. I'm kind of almost to be little to no bugs in it. Um, so
Well, after having people test it in the alpha, there might be like maybe a few, but there probably won't be any major bugs in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I
Like,
think there might be things like here or there, like to do with the map, like maybe there's a map design error here or there. But I mean, in terms of sort of game breaking sort of bugs, I don't think there's going to be any of that in the beta. Because that's one
yeah.
thing that Bungie does that not a lot of game companies do is that they actually have like their sort of own like in Bungie they have their own sort of private game testers, like they literally play the game all day every day and they test the game as they're developing it. Like I mean they actually employ people to do that. And not many other companies do that. So what do you guys think? Anybody? Hello? Wait, I can't hear anything. Hello?
mm, yes.
Oh, sorry, thought my thing was going weird
Oh,
there.
hey, look, I found the broadcast.
Alright.
Uh,
I found it. It took me
But
like 10 years.
Right, I'll see if there's any questions from the chat, man. Seems as we've sort of run out of a few subjects here. Um,
oh my gosh, I sound high out of my mind.
I'm reading that right now.
Oh no, I'm just trying to think about what I'm saying, and because you gotta understand, this is our first episode of this, and we will get better as time goes on. By the way, we are gonna be live streaming this every week.
Roughly,
We're gonna
maybe
try to do it.
Friday or Saturday. I mean, we'll always announce it,
Yes,
or and I'll always have
but
it on my
we
YouTube
will.
channel as well, in case you miss it.
Yes, we'll always announce it. Usually it's going to be in the afternoons, Friday or Saturday. And then once we get through these first few episodes, we're going to lock down an actual time and say, okay, this is when we're actually going to be here. Um, but if anyone has any questions in the chat, just put them in there, and we will answer as best we can.
Dark Saints just said, how long do you think Destiny will support PS3 and PS4? I'm going to assume he
Um,
means how long will it support PS3 and Xbox 360? Yeah. He's just corrected himself. Yeah, how long will it support PS3 and Xbox
uh,
360?
I
Probably
have no idea.
only until the okay. Once the expansion comes out next year, the Comet, as it's codenamed, then they probably aren't going to support it much, and especially once the second game comes out, they're not going to support it at all.
But there's
Yeah,
Destiny 2.
yeah.
Yes,
I think as soon as it
exactly.
hits Destiny 2, they're not going to be supporting anything else because I mean by that time, what
It,
that'll be like? What in like that'll probably be like at least 2 or 3, 4, maybe 4 years time. Like I don't think anybody's going to be publishing
no,
any Xbox
that's
360 or PS3 games by then. So I mean,
th there's a game coming out every 2 years, and within those 2 years, there's going to be one big giant expansion. Um, so it's like a year after each game comes out, you get an expansion, and obviously, we've seen these, you know, other little expansions.
In games
I
like
can't
WoW.
remember the names of them. I cannot remember the names of them.
So they're just gonna add expansion passes every
But
2 years.
um, I'm not sure if these expansions that are included in the expansion pass, because there are two, if those are the actual expansions like that they're talking about, but I kind of doubt it because they're probably just adding, they're probably gonna add a little expansion like every 2 or 3 months and then add one big giant one every year after each game comes out.
All right.
yeah, I think what they're saying in the chat just now is if Des, if this Destiny that's coming out now will be the Destiny that's lasting for 10 years, and like every year something they're gonna, or every 2 years whatever it is, they're just in like a big massive expansion pack. But what I don't think that's gonna be the case because I mean think about it, in 10 years time, this sort of software is gonna be outdated. Oh Jesus. Um, But no, I think it will be sort of Destiny 2 in like 2 years' time, and then like Destiny 3 and so on, up until the 10 years is done, and then maybe they'll. Because I'm pretty sure they said that after these 10 years, they probably will expand on the Destiny universe, but it's just this sort of contract with Activision, I think it is. That's when it expires in 10 years, but they can still add on to the story of Destiny.
And I'm sure they will because they own it. I mean, it's not an Activision game, it's a Bungie game. So Bungie owns the game. I mean, so once they're done, once their contract with Activision is up, they can, you know,
Do whatever they want.
they can expand on the world, create a whole nother game, um, do whatever they want. So,
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep an eye on the chat right now. Um,
Yeah, Dark Saint just asked if anyone here is gonna be rocking the Red Ghost.
I think we can earn that in game. Am I correct or incorrect about that?
They said that it was from the limited editions, but I'm not sure if you will or will not be able to earn that in game. I'm pretty sure you won't, but It's just a skin for the
Oh,
ghost.
here's something to actually talk about. You guys have seen the IGN first videos, correct?
Yes, I
Yes.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any of the multiplayer maps that actually look appealing to you that you actually want to play during the beta?
So is there
And I'm
anything?
sure everyone, and I'm sure everybody is going to say all of them because we didn't get a chance to play them during the alpha. Um, but is there one that just in particular you just want to play on over all of the other ones that they've shown so far?
Actually, I didn't watch the one today, so I couldn't say anything about that one. But
The one today was
It was Mars, right? I think it was.
Mars,
yeah, it
and
was one on
Yeah.
Mars.
it was
I saw the headline,
called
but I
Blind
didn't see the
Watch.
actual. I didn't see the
Well,
actual
the one I seen today
video.
was they were actually talking about how apparently a few of the Bungie guys are actually known for camping on top of this sort of overhang type thing, which I think is I think I'm gonna be camping out a lot there. It looks a great spot to. It's got a
I
lot
have a
of
question.
sniping angles.
Do you remember? It was a video of I think it was the hunter doing I think it was the blink ability. And he went across the fan, to go, to the other player, and they called that map Rooftops. I wonder if that's now this map, or if that's just, I don't know,
You
because I
won't
don't know
really
if you
know
guys
until
have
the
seen
beta
that
launches.
video or not, but also another question is, there's going to be 5 maps playable in the beta. There's going to be First Light, Rusted Lands, Shores of Time, um, Blind Watch, which we saw today, and one more will be shown tomorrow. And then which will probably be first. Well, first hasn't been shown yet. But from what I've heard, there's going to be 5. I could be wrong on that. Maybe there's 4, but from what I've heard, there's 5. And I think that was stated today in the video that there's going to be 5 playable in the beta. But how many maps total for the retail game do you guys want? Because um, some games come out with 10 or 15. I mean, how many actual PvP maps do you want in the full game to be satisfied?
I would
Enough.
say at least. What is it like that? Like, is it usually what, like 15 or maybe like 18? Most games usually start out with.
Um, well, if you look at some of the Halo games, I mean, they came out with between what, like 10 to 15 maps. What about Titanfall? How many maps did Titanfall launch with?
God, there isn't even many of them, is there? That game only
I
had
can
launched with like
remember.
8 maps, didn't it?
Launch it like
Oh God, what happened there?
We're getting
If
like
a
a Titanfall,
game
which is
does not launch with more than probably I'd say 10 to 15 maps, if not more, like that's what I feel like the game needs is it needs at least 10 maps at least to, for people to want to play PvP.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably hit the
Yeah.
number at 15 maybe to make it. You know, what I mean, to have a good variety of like. Because I think that's the thing that's wrong with Titanfall. I mean, it's just so like
Titanfall only had
compet
9, so
repetitive
Yeah.
Titanfall. And like, you know what I mean, it's pretty much the same thing every round. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean,
Mm.
it needs a sort of variety, which I think they need to make sure that, which is in Destiny. You know, I think they need to make sure there's a right variety of different maps.
Exactly. And
and sort of make sure they're not all the same. Which, although from what I've seen in these new map sort of showcases that have been coming out the last couple of days, is that in each map there's sort of been key locations in each map. So if you are sort of going to go sort of MLG on it, as to sort of speak, I mean you can call out you can sort of do call outs and things because there's sort of key locations in the map, which is what I like about the game.
also another thing, um, as we're gonna stay on PvP for a second here because it's actually something we can actually there's actually a lot to talk about for PvP because as far as how it's set up, um, they take away your level advantages. So you can be a level 5 versus a level 20, and it's pretty much about who's skilled. They take away your weapon advantages, your armor advantages. The only things that I believe matter are when you're in your focus or in the alpha they called it this the subclass. When you're there, I think the stats there like your armor and stuff like that, those matter and obviously what you have as your subclass matters. Um, would you want them to have, you know, a playlist for say if you're level 15 and you go into a match with the level 20, you're just gonna get, you know, destroyed because they just have the better gear. I mean, would you guys want, you know, level advantages to
No,
matter
I'm
in
no
some
that
game
because I
types?
mean, I think it's out. There's got to be a certain element where people can buy the game and just jump straight into the PvP. If people aren't wanting to play the you know I mean the open world side of it, then they don't have to. You know what I mean, if they buy the game just for the PvP, then they can play the PvP.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And also, I mean, right out of the gate, I mean, no one's going to be able to play the PvP anyways because you have to do a few hours of missions before you can actually unlock the PvP, which I think is a smart idea.
Yeah,
That's how
So,
you gotta
it
get
sort of
your gear
shows
before you go in
off
there
the
and get
game.
smashed.
what did you say, Purple?
I was just saying that it sort of shows off the game before you jump into the PvP. I guess you know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, their whole motto is they want you to explore. I mean, if you're just gonna do PvP, you know, they want you to do everything, raiding, PvP, you know, strikes, everything. So, that's why I think the reason for them locking PvP till you get to I I'm pretty sure it's going to be level locked. I don't think it's going to be based on how many story missions you do. I'm pretty sure you can't like I'm pretty sure you'll probably be level 4, no, 3 and then you can go into PvP which might take, you know, half hour to an hour you know, level up so you can do PvP, but you know, it's not I don't think anyone's gonna complain about it because once you know you're if you're low level, you're not gonna have your super, you're not gonna have any of that, so you're not gonna survive in PvP at all.
Yeah, I mean, another thing I was going to say, but I mean, I don't want to keep rambling on about the PvP here, but do you guys think there's going to be a lot of sort of competitive play behind the PvP as like there was in Halo and stuff? Do you think it's going to be similar, or do you think there isn't going to be much competitive play? Hello, Porky.
I actually don't have no idea.
I mean, I hope personally, I hope there is going to be a lot of competitive play because it'll make the game it'll sort of advertise the game a lot more and make it a lot more popular if there's competitive play behind it, and it'll be quite interesting to watch, and I think it'll really do a lot for the game
I
if it
hope there
was.
is too.
So I'm trying to read the chat. What this guy's saying in the chat about us apparently trash talking about the game, about PvP or something.
We're
I'm
not
reading the
trash
chat right
talking.
now.
But I mean, basically, PvP is going to be its own thing. I mean, it's going to feel like no other PvP we've ever played. So,
I mean,
it's
personally,
going
I
to be
think it's going
something
to be quite
special.
similar to the Halo PvP. But it's going to be its own PvP, obviously. But I mean, I think it's going to feel similar to Halo, which personally for me would be a good thing because I loved Halo. So I mean,
Yes, I loved Halo as well. And I will love Destiny as well. How far are we into this purple?
um, I'll tell you right now. Oh my god, we are an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, damn.
And we spent like almost the first half hour of it just rambling on. Is there anything else? All right, now we will take more questions in the chat and then we will wrap it up probably.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh
so
wait,
if anyone has any, yes, go ahead.
all right. Do you guys think that the supers that they have right now are gonna be the only ones in the game, or like, cause they only have six, two for each class? You think that they might add any more, or is that gonna be all that they have in the whole game?
Um, they are gonna add more.
I
And
hope they do.
I've already heard that you have to unlock more focuses and everything further down the line. So, um, and I'm just gonna take a wild guess at the level cap, but I'm gonna guess the level is 40 because I've heard that your focuses are responsible leveling for leveling you up, um, 1 to 20. And right now we see only two focuses, so that's that equals to 40. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I think the highest level we've seen is 31, I want to say. So I wouldn't be surprised if the level cap goes to 40, which I think would be um a man, a level that I think is manageable and that everyone would be happy about. And also another thing, the the levels. People are getting confused about the levels in the IGN first video where they first showcased what's going to happen in the beta and everything, what they're going to show. There were two levels. There was one level that was a level 20 that was next to your focus. Then there was another level that was a level 29. Um, the level 20 is your focus level. That's not your actual level. Yes, it kind of appeared like they just put your actual level next to your focus, but that just basically levels with you through level 1 through 20, but after that it probably has its own separate level. Um, or actually I think focuses only go up from 1 to 20. So um, that's your focus level.
Yeah.
Um,
All right. I've got
that's
two
how
questions
that's
here
how high
in
your
the chat.
focus is.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll take Dark Saints first because I think Nathan's will be a, well, a bigger one, if you know what I mean. Dark Saints is asking if we think the Legend gear we get from the Crucible will outrank the Legend gear we get from exploring. Do you guys hear that?
Um, repeat that question one more time.
Do you think that the Legend gear you get from the Crucible will outrank the Legend gear you get from exploring?
No, and especially when the end game. Okay, basically, you're not going to get end game gear from PvP. you're gonna get endgame gear from doing raids. You're gonna get endgame gear from doing the Vault of Glass on the hardest difficulty because, like I said again, I guarantee you that's gonna be the endgame raid. Um, you're not. You will get powerful gear for PvP, I'm guessing. But they're not gonna give you gear that's close to what you would earn if you're doing a raid,
Mhm.
as opposed to
Yeah.
just playing one one PvP match and getting like a nice helmet or something. They're not gonna do that. So endgame gear will always outrank PvP gear
Yeah, because I mean,
because it
the
just
sort
takes
of
a lot more to do.
yeah, because the gear that you earn in well, sort of the weapons that you earn in the sort of co-op, that doesn't really make much of a difference. It all sort of levels out when it comes to PvP anyway. So
Mhm.
I mean, they all have the different sort of special things. Like Darkseid was talking about, the Red Death that heals you or something like that in PvP. Which I mean, yeah, that will make a difference. But I mean, in terms of damage, I think all the damage is leveled out in PvP. So
And yes, it is. Well, I think it also depends on the type of gun, but yes, your damage is leveled out. Nathan had a question. He asked, "What are the social event or something like that?" What do you? Oh,
Public
is he
events, I
talking
mean?
about? Yeah, I think he's talking about the public events.
yeah, public events.
Does anyone does
Yeah,
anyone want to comment on that?
yeah, I'm sure. I'll explain that. Well,
Uh,
essentially,
all
like,
right.
say you were going around your fire team, right? And boom, a public event happens. Like, you know, random enemies, or a public event just randomly starts, and there's a bunch of enemies around, and the idea is that you sort of finish the mission, but the way that it's public is that sort of other fire teams around you that are in that same area, but maybe aren't visible to you, almost like they're on a different server, but like they're there. If that makes sense, I don't know how to explain that, but essentially, there's now what is it? How many fire teams is it that can join a public event? Does anybody know how many people it is?
Not too sure.
Um,
Um,
right. Let's just go for the sake of the conversation. Let's just go with 10. Right. Say there's 10 people. Like all 10 people would just all appear around each other. The idea is that everybody works together to sort of complete the mission together, by whatever it is, by sort of say it was just to kill, to sort of finishing off the enemies, and you know what I mean, you work together to sort of complete the mission. That's the way I understand it anyway. Didn't really explain that very well, but maybe else would add on to that.
Um, Also, when you do a public event, you're not just going to be in there with your fire team. You're going to be up there. You're going to be in there with other players. Now they haven't announced an actual player cap on them.
Yeah,
I'm guessing there are some I mean,
It
that
might
there's going to
vary
be
depending on on
more
the
than 10.
public event.
I believe it will be, I believe it probably will vary by what kind of public event you're doing, and
yeah.
also I think it will vary by what level um, you are as well. So, are there any more questions in the chat? Any more whatsoever?
I'll type that in just now because I think the chat is a bit quicker than the stream. Like for no
Yeah,
questions.
the stream lags a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like it's just sort of, I think it's like a minute or two behind.
Oh yeah, well, I don't even think that. I think it's a few seconds, or maybe
So
about.
Dark Saint says exotic is a level above the legend. So exotic is above legend.
Yes.
Exotic is gold and legend is purple.
It goes, which this is common is white, uncommon is green, rare is blue, legend is purple and exotic is gold. For anyone who didn't know this in the chat, you can only carry one exotic. I mean, you can carry as many exotic armor pieces and weapons as you want, but
You
you
can
can
only
only
have one
have
equipped.
one exotic weapon equipped and one exotic armor piece equipped at a time. So I'm guessing they're gonna give us armor sets out of that. I'm hoping so.
Wait, so basically, like you could have a bunch of rare gear. You could have rare boots, rare uh, whatever, and you can maybe only have like one exotic chest plate or one helmet or so. What do
Mhm.
you mean? So it's like one of each body part, if you know what I
Yes,
mean.
basically, if you have, say you have legendary chest, legendary shoulders, legendary helmet, and legendary legs, you can only have one exotic within each of those.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah,
have two exotics equipped in one armor set and one armor set. Also, for the weapons, you can only have one exotic. You can carry as many as you want, but you can only have one.
yeah.
So,
I have something to say about the variation in weapons. From what I've seen in the alpha and from all the gameplay that I've seen, I mean, there's just sort of different types of weapons. I mean, there's like there's fusion rifles. There's
Pulse rifles
yeah. I mean, but like for example, all the fusion rifles
and
seem to look
cannons.
very similar, and like all the pulse rifles look very similar. Like there isn't really much variation between each. Like between all the pulse rifles and all the fusion rifles and all that. They all look very similar to me. I mean, does anybody else notice that, or is that just me?
Maybe that was just
um,
because in the alpha they didn't have very many different types of the guns, just because they didn't want to um spoil too much before the game launches.
I
But
suppose.
that's just my opinion.
I suppose. Anything else, Porky?
um, as far as the types of weapons and everything and how they look, a fusion rifle is always going to look like a fusion rifle, and an assault rifle is always going to look like an assault rifle. I think what they mean by them, like, um,
So like sort of different camos and things that's going to be on each of them.
um, in the alpha, I don't think we saw anything where you could, you know, shade your gun or color your gun or anything. But all of the guns are going to look the same as far as, assault rifle is going to look like an assault rifle and a sniper rifle is going to look like a sniper rifle. But it's how you customize them is what's going to make them look different.
Yeah. Um.
I believe in the alpha, if you went to the tower, you could there was this one place where you could put different colors and camos on your gun, but I think you had to be level 20 before you were able to access it.
Yeah, and I believe that was just for armor. That wasn't for guns,
Right, we've got another
All
question
right.
here
I
from
believe.
Ravesman X5. He asks how we think you actually get to the Vault of Glass. I mean,
Um,
Go to Venus.
yes, we kind of already know it's on Venus. There's more than likely going to be a lot of Becks there, but I basically think how you get there is you obviously do raids, you get gear and everything, but there was I think it was either Irk or Deej again said that it took 45 minutes just to crack the entrance of a raid.
yeah,
So even getting inside of a raid, forget about trying to get there. Once you get there, you
I
still have
think
to
that
get
was a strike.
inside. No,
no,
it
yeah,
was a
I
I
raid.
think they
definitely
said that
heard that
it
it was to crack the entrance. which
It was a raid.
I think
It was
I
a
think they said
raid.
to crack the entrance of a raid, it takes as long as a strike.
Yeah. You're actually right. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it said. Um, yeah. And it'll be interesting, playing this game and playing something that all of us have been so hyped for. All right. If there's any more question, or if there's no more questions in the chat, we're probably going to end it.
yeah, I
Um,
mean it's getting pretty late for me now. It's gone 12:30 for me. Very well for everybody else in the team that's in the
so
UK. It's getting pretty late.
thank you everybody for watching. Keep in mind this is our first show. We're very new to this, but we're gonna be doing these every week, Friday or Saturday. And after the first few shows, we're going to set an actual time and everything of when we're actually going to do it. We're going to post on the forums and stuff. We have a group. The group is called All That Will Remain, and the founder is actually in the chat. His name is Dark Saint. If you want any information on how to join or anything like that, just get in touch with him. And if you are on the Xbox One and are looking to join a clan that not only wants to have fun, but also, you know, takes takes things somewhat seriously, like for the raids and stuff, we're obviously going to take seriously because if you screw around in raids, you're going to die a lot.
Yeah.
So
I'd also
just
like to say right here is that if anybody else in the group or anybody at all that isn't on Xbox One that would like to get involved in these podcasts, it is possible that I could set up a Skype that we could do one time maybe. But I mean, for now, I think we're going to
yes.
stick with the Xbox One simply because it's easier for to record and things. But maybe in the future we could do like a Skype call or something like that.
Yeah, and also, if anyone wants any information on the Xbox One side of All That Will Remain, let me know. I'm the squad leader for Xbox One, so if anybody wants any info on that, we have, we're nearing actually close to 50 members, which is a lot compared to what I thought we would even get, what, a month or 2 months ago. Um, I never even imagined that we would get that many members, and it's been really good. And if you want any information on the group, just go to All That Will Remain. Type it in on the group section on Bungie.net, um, and we will be trying to get more members in this. We're not going to be having the same people every week. We're going to switch it up. So if you want in on this, just um, message me or message Purple Spartan, and I will relay the message back to him. And Purple, do you want to give them YouTube
Um,
links, Twitch links?
yeah, I've just typed my channel into the description because
Okay.
hopefully this should be up tomorrow. I mean, I've got a
Okay.
friend coming this weekend, well tomorrow and staying for the weekend, so hopefully after this I might
Mhm.
actually be able to edit a little bit and then, but it probably won't be uploaded till tomorrow. Probably later
Okay.
later on as well. So
So, you guys will find out about this. It will be uploaded either the next day or the next few days after the live stream. Um, what else?
Is he gonna upload this onto YouTube?
yeah.
Yes, it's gonna be on YouTube. We are. Are you still looking for someone to do a thumbnail?
No, actually, I've got some software now that allows me to create some good software. Although I
Okay.
would, it would be nice if anybody in the stream here is any good at things like sort of art, like in terms of YouTube channel art or anything really, or I think good things like intros or anything like that could really help out my channel. That would be great. But
Yeah, that would be good. I kind of like your intro though, with the whole,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
what would the jet?
What
battlefield
is
thing,
it? Is it
shooting
with the
down the freaking
bazooka?
copter.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, shooting down the.
And then the music jumps in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
like the.
I kind of
What
like.
music do you use too?
What do I use? Sorry.
Yeah, what software and stuff do you use for your
I
intro?
actually used what to edit. I just use iMovie because I'm poor and I cannot afford fucking Sony Vegas or whatever it is.
So that's it, guys. Let everybody know that the Destiny Talks podcast is a new thing, and um, it would be great if we got feedback. Even you know, send me a message saying, hey, you did this right, but this wrong. I mean, feedback is everything,
Yeah,
and
feedback means
so
a lot to
is
us.
so is criticism. Um,
Constructive
so
criticism.
so we
Big
will be
difference.
I probably either myself or Purple Spartan will post on the Bungie.net forums when we're gonna go live, and post actually about it to let everybody else know within the community. Um, so I think that's it.
When
And
you finally finish editing the stream and stuff, you should post it in the forums that we have for the community as an announcement.
Yeah. To which ones? I think I
next
might have
time,
to maybe email it to Porky because I think all the uh, announcements, I think they only really become public to the group if it's Porky or Dark
If
Saint
an
that actually
admin
do
posts
that
it.
or something
Yeah.
like that.
since you're doing this and everything, maybe I could talk Dark Saint into putting you as an admin, just because it would be easier for you to be an admin because you would be able to relay the information.
Yeah.
I'll talk to Dark Saint. Dark Saint, if you're still in the chat, I don't think he's in the chat because he said night, but that would obviously be a lot easier because I mean you could just say it, say who all is going to be on and everything, and it'll be good. But thank you guys for watching, and we will
Oh yeah,
see you
he's still
next
here.
week. Is he still here?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
still
he
here.
just posted in the
Yeah.
chat.
He says two
Um,
minutes.
okay,
But just remember, he's probably a few minutes behind though, so he won't have actually heard what we just said though.
okay,
So
well, he'll,
I'll just keep the
he'll
stream going
probably,
another minute or two and see if he replies.
yeah, I want to see. So guys, hang out. If you guys have any questions, we'll answer questions for maybe the next 5 minutes. If you guys have any questions related to Destiny or our clan in general, just ask away in the chat.
By the way, feel free to play with the other people in the community. Like just send. I'm usually on like all day, so just send me an invite to play Titanfall or Call of Duty Ghosts, and I'll play with you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on all day as well, but I'm in UK time, so different time from you guys.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
from
so I
UK
guess
as
just
well,
remember,
so.
if you ever feel like playing in the morning, I'll be on because that'll be afternoon for me.
That must be his wife doing okay. He thinks the co-op looks good. Nathan, yeah, the co-op I mean, the game's all about friends and socializing with friends and playing with friends. I mean, yes, you can lone wolf it, but are you really gonna have fun doing it? Probably not. So the game is all about forming groups, forming friends, and fighting things together, not
Yeah,
just by
I mean,
ourselves.
it's
Because
it's definitely
we've already
designed around the
seen that fighting
multiplayer.
thing. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, it's definitely designed around the co-op. It's not designed to be played by yourself.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen how hard the strike is on Legend.
Imagine the
Try
raid.
try actually doing that with just two people, or try doing that with just by yourself. I mean, that would be ridiculously hard.
I
I'm not
believe there's a
sure.
matchmaking.
Yeah, there is. So you can't really
Yeah.
solo them. And even if you go there, things aren't going to spawn because you're not actually in, um, you know, the actual strike part. But I think that's probably it.
Yeah, I mean, Darkseid, if you hear this, and then it'd be great if you could maybe message me or Porky about it. But I think I'm going to close the stream down now because my mum's actually texted me 40 minutes ago telling me that she's in her bed. So, because it's now
All right, guys.
coming to 1 o'clock for me. So,
Thank you for watching,
thanks for
and
watching, guys, and
we
hopefully you'll
will
join
see
us
you
next
next
time as
week.
well. See you next week, guys. Thank you very much.
See you guys in the beta.
See you, bye.
There's a side to me you don't know, different to the child with the smiling photo.